This week's episode brought to you by the Communicore Weekly online store. Visit CommunicoreWeekly.com, hit the link for the store where you can shop and peruse some of the best t-shirts out there and definitely some of the best music out there. Visit CommunicoreWeekly.com.
Communicore Weekly. Come on and get geeky. We bob around boats and five-legged goats. Communicore Weekly. You might get some freaky. You waited all week. I'm sure you already know that it's the greatest online show.
Hello and welcome to Communicore Weekly, the greatest online show. I'm George.
And I'm Jeff, and welcome back. I'm really glad that you threw the greatest online show part back into it, because we know what a nightmare it was last week when you didn't.
Well, I think it was the comments on YouTube that sort of shamed me into, remembering that part. Although the Giggle Fest apparently was appreciated.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad you got the Giggle Fest out of the way.
Shows that we are human beings, not Communicore androids or
no androids here. Speaking of no robots, just so you guys don't think it's a fake, we do have a Impromptu United Kingdom Pavilion phone booth Disney trivia in this episode. Yeah. It was recorded before they took the phone booths away. I just totally forgot about it. So it's not like we're not faking this one. This is a real one. This happened before they took them away. So don't send us hate mail because we'll probably cry when we read it.
Yeah, we'll cry because we'll be so excited that we got mail.
Yeah, that's mostly what I meant.
And then we'll be like, oh, so sad, But we still have our Communicore cadets out there investigating why the phone booths were turned off. We won't say anything else though.
And trying to find new phone numbers for us to call. Even though we're not going to change the segment name, we're just going to find new numbers to call. So if you hear a ringing phone when you're at Disney, you should probably pick it up because it might be us.
Hop, step, jump, and skip. We took a trip, and this is our trip.
Disneyland just recently celebrated the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, and to help exactly, that's how I felt about it.
More sound effects.
Sound effects are great for this. They recently held a merchandising event for it, as they usually do. It was on a Saturday. It was all day. I'm sorry, let me rephrase. It started on Friday night and it went into Saturday night. I know people lined up Friday evening for almost 4 hours to register and get the chance to purchase things right away, because we all know how people like to purchase things right away
and sell them on eBay right away.
Actually, Martina and I did sit there Friday night and looked on eBay for stuff, and it was up within an hour. So
oh wow,
there's that. But in addition to all the merchandising stuff, they also held 3 different panels. They were basically the same, but it was about the making of the Enchanted Tiki Room. And of course, Rolly was on the panel. Bob Gurr was also on the panel, along with 3 current Imagineers who were instrumental in the redo of the Tiki Room back in 2006, I think it was.
I think so.
Disneyland.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope I'm correct in that. But it was pretty interesting. The panels themselves were really interesting. I think they did a good job with them. They piped a pineapple smell into the room, so when people walked in, the first thing that would hit them in the face is a smell of pineapple. I thought it was awesome.
Did this take place at the Disneyland Hotel? Or?
Yes, it took place, and the entire event was at the Disneyland Hotel. They took over a bunch of the ballrooms there. They had a smaller one set up for the panel, and then next to that they had the large one set up with all these tables and tiki projections on the walls for pin trading to go on, so people can sit in the room and trade pins. And then next to that, they had a couple of smaller rooms where you can buy the merchandise, you can see the merchandise, and you can also get things signed by some of the artists who had stuff featured in the show and that were being signed there, such as Javier Soto. He has some stuff there. Kevin Kidney and Jodie Daly also had stuff there, so that was cool. It was cool to meet these people too, because I'm gonna name drop. I got to hang out in the green room because I was with Rolly, so I got to meet all these people face to face as opposed to standing in line with everybody else.
Like the common folk.
Yeah, with the common folk. Sorry, common folk.
Well, it pays to be on Communicore Weekly.
It does, right? It totally does.
That's the way it is.
But I mean, there was a lot of merchandise. I was kind of surprised at how much merchandise there was. I didn't plan on buying any of it, and I was really against buying any of it. And then I saw this statue of Pele, the goddess of volcanoes.
Oh, I was thinking the soccer star. No, okay.
Him also.
Okay. But you went with the more tiki flavored one.
Yes,
I guess.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
Okay.
So I kind of bought it because I couldn't resist because I didn't realize how cool it was going to look in person.
Well, did you get an annual pass holders discount on it?
I did, as a matter of fact, which was pretty
go.
sweet. I have to, for the 20% off did come in handy off the $100 that it was. But everything I thought was kind of overpriced, to be honest with you. It was nice, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of cool stuff, but it was really, really expensive. And I don't know. I mean, people paid $85 to go to this event. They paid $170 something to go to the event and the shag cocktail party later on that evening. But by Sunday afternoon, all the merchandise that did not sell at the event was at Disneyana in Disneyland. So
wow.
You didn't have to pay $85 to go buy this stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess besides the panel discussions, that really was the main draw, was to buy some of the merchandise.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? The panel discussion, they were the same basically all three times, but there was a little, they were different a little bit. They told some different stories here and there. The third and final one got a little crazy. There were things said that I'm not going to repeat. But
wow.
They were probably not appropriate for the audience. And of course they came out of Rolly's mouth. What a surprise.
So it's kind of an inappropriate story.
It was kind of an inappropriate story, very much so. And Bob Gurr said, well, what did you expect? You kept asking for more, and that, kind of lightened the mood a little bit. But I thought it was really funny.
So the idea was they rotated 3 different large groups that had paid. You just got assigned to a specific...
No, you weren't assigned to a time at all. You can go to whatever panel you wanted.
So you could have gone to all 3.
You know what? And there were people that did go to all 3 panels.
Sure.
And they got a little bit more information every time, so that was interesting for them. But that's why they tried to change it up a little bit with little different questions for the people that had been in it before. But it was certainly an interesting event. If you were into the collector's edition pins and all that stuff, I can see why you would pay the $85 to get into the event. It was nicely done. We went to the shag cocktail reception for 5 minutes later on that night, and that was cool too. It wasn't really my thing, so we didn't stay that long. But I think the highlight for me, and this was not part of the event, it just happened to take place because of the event, and again, this is me name dropping, but later on, we all had dinner together, myself, Martina, Rolly, and Bob, and Dusty and Fishbowl from my shed as well. But beforehand, Rolly and Bob sitting in the hotel room together, just talking, not on a panel, not having to perform for an audience, just sitting there hearing the two of them talk about the old days and stuff like that was unbelievable.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now we've been to a few events like this, both of us before, and it seems like now they've realized the merchandise is so much more important. The 40th anniversary for Walt Disney World, the merchandise was sold out within an hour or two. And the lines for Epcot's 30th went on for days, and some of the stuff was sold out of it. So it sounds like they finally either had more than they needed or something. But did it feel like it was more of a merchandising event, or did it feel like...
It was. I mean, there's no question about it. It was billed as a merchandising event, without a doubt. But I think it also strikes the chord of Walt Disney World guests versus Disneyland guests, for whatever reason. Because I think whenever Walt Disney World has events like this, the merchandise usually sells out very quickly.
Sure.
But the Disneyland side, again, anything you could have wanted from that event was at Disneyland the very next day. And I think that's the case for a lot of these events. So I don't, I'm not really sure what to think about it. To me, it wouldn't be worth the $85 ticket. For other people, it definitely is, just so they know they can purchase these things.
You're firmly ensconced and entrenched into the Tiki Room. especially, with the amazing book. It's kind of a cute story that you wrote with Rolly Crump, and another project that's coming out in the near future.
Yes, yes.
So, did the panels, did they seem old hat to you?
No, because there was some new stuff that came out, and at the end of the first panel, or during the first panel, Rolly said something, and then when we were done and we went back to the green room, I said to him, "I've never heard that story before. We need to get that down somewhere in some way, shape, or form, because it was a great story." So, that was pretty neat. Will I pay $85 to go to an event like this in the future? No, probably not.
Okay.
I'll save my money for the Sunday when everything else is there if I really want something. But for some people, they may be into it.
He's a nerd, he's a geek, but we all like to hear him speak. So listen up to the words from his speech. It's George's Book of the Week.
So this week's book is The Thinking Fan's Guide to Walt Disney World, The Magic Kingdom by Aaron Wallace. Relatively new, and it has 256 pages. So this is a really interesting book because it's not really a guidebook. It's more of a history/critique/guidebook all rolled into one. So Aaron breaks down the Magic Kingdom by land and looks at each attraction. And at its basic level, the book offers a standard guidebook material about the attraction, like the duration of the ride, like what type, is it a boat ride, is it a roller coaster, does it offer a fast pass, is there a fear factor, like the Tiki Room, you're scared because it's so awesome.
Or the TV show?
The TV show?
TV show
Yeah,
Fear Factor?
The Fear Factor, yes, with Joe Rogan.
I think it's Rogan. I was going to say Rhodey to tie it into Disney, but...
we should say with Joe Rogan. Joe Rodan.
Rodan? Sure, we'll go with that.
Because he attacked people in Japan. Anyway, so I know we just way off base there.
Sorry, go on.
Also talks about the wet factor, like if you're going to get wet on the Tiki Room or not. If there's a pre-show, the boarding speed. So he really kind of gives you a basic, so you could use it as a guidebook if you want to. But the real reason to look at the book is the history and criticism of the attraction that Aaron offers. And when I use the term criticism, I'm using it in the sense of pointing a critical eye at the attraction, like sort of what I do every week with my Book of the Week segment, of course. I know it's like cyclical. I'm going to keep promoting. So, but even then, when I say he's being critical, he's not complaining or bad-mouthing. He's looking behind the scenes at the attraction. He's painting an artistic and a literal and a theatrical eye at the attraction, looking at what makes it tick. So he usually jumps right into the history of the ride, and going back to say, this is what Walt wanted, or this is where they got the idea for the ride. He'll even trace its roots back to Disneyland, the initial plans for the ride, and if there's a lineage to the ride, so to speak, he covers that as well. And I don't want to give anything away by talking about the lineages. You'd have to read it yourself. He doesn't cover a lot about the ride, like what will happen when you go around this bend, or what happens when you go down the first drop of Splash Mountain. But he does look at how we react as an audience to the ride, and what that says about us as a culture, and what it says about the Disney company as the purveyor of the ride, is what they're presenting to us. Like, for instance, with Pirates. Not only does he cover the evolution of the ride from a walk-through attraction, pre-World's Fair, but he also follows the significant changes wrought after the ride's debut to the films and the changes that the films created within the ride. So, not that it's met or anything like that, but it's got some interesting parts to it. The last part of each attraction segment it's a section called Watch This. And it's a part of Aaron's background is he's a DVD and film reviewer. That's one of his passions. So it makes sense that he would try to tie a film into each attraction. And sometimes the film is spot on, and other times you'll wonder, why he's recommending the film. When he talks about a certain attraction in Tomorrowland, he says you should watch Meet the Robinsons because they go to Todayland very briefly. So some of the tie-ins are kind of off, and some of them are spot on. But honestly, I really appreciate the film suggestions because it's a great way to tie like a family movie night into the parks. Because then you could talk about what you saw in the film, or when you're walking through the parks, you could say, hey, remember when we watched, Tom and Huck and this happened? So, but as much as I enjoyed the book, it did take me a little bit longer to finish this one than normal, mainly because I was thinking about Aaron's discussions and how I felt about the attraction. not questioning his level of detail or the history. He was pretty much spot on with his history and with the little facts and the details, but he's obviously giving his opinion about an attraction and the background behind it. So I always had to think, how does this fit with my worldview of the attraction? And most time, he had a good analysis of the ride. Overall, I think the book is a really good addition to your library, especially if you're looking for a more in-depth thought process about the parks. More than just a go here and ride this, and then ride this and ride that, and you'll learn something. The book this week was The Thinking Fan's Guide to Walt Disney World: The Magic Kingdom by Aaron Wallace, published in 2013.
Impromptu United Kingdom Pavilion Phone Booth Disney Trivia. Impromptu United Kingdom Pavilion Phone Booth Disney Trivia.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good.
Hi, this is Jeff from Communicore Weekly. Would you be interested in playing Impromptu United Kingdom Pavilion Phone Booth Disney Trivia? We give out free prizes if you get some trivia questions right about Disney.
Okay.
Alright, so here's the thing. We ask you 3 questions, easy, medium, and hard, and if you get all 3 right, we'll send you a free prize. It sounds weird, but we're a podcast called Communicore Weekly, and this is totally legit.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Okay. Is this the same person?
I believe so.
Okay, I got weirded out because all that beeping was going on the phone there. Okay, before we go on, I just need to know your name. What's your name?
Tracy?
Okay, Tracy. Alright, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Do you know your Disney trivia?
I guess.
Alright. Hopefully it'll be easy for you. So here's an easy one. Do you know the movie Peter Pan?
Uh-huh.
Okay, can you name one of the Lost Boys?
One of the Lost Boys?
Yes.
What are the names of the Lost Boys? Of course you asked me, and now I can't remember. There's one that has a raccoon tail on his head. What's his name?
You know what? I'll accept that. There's actually 2. Those are the twins, and they're both dressed as raccoons. I'll take it.
Awesome.
Okay, here's another one. What was Walt Disney's middle name?
I don't know, but wasn't his, mom or his wife's name's Lillian?
His wife's name was Lillian, so that kind of counts. Alright, well, how about this? I'll give you a hint. His middle name was also the first name of his father.
Walter? No idea.
Starts with the letter E?
Well, starts with the letter E?
Yes.
What's Walt Disney's middle name? Starts with an E. Edgar?
I'm not sure.
Edward? Eduardo.
All of them very good guesses. None of them are right, unfortunately. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a pass on that one, though.
Okay, cool.
That one's kind of hard. All right, so if you get this last one right, we will totally send you a free prize.
Sweet.
Okay. In what new Fantasyland attraction in the Magic Kingdom can you find a tribute to the old 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride?
In the new part?
Yes, in the new Fantasyland.
I guess that would have to be the Under the Sea.
Little Mermaid?
I'm sorry?
The Little Mermaid?
Yes.
You would be correct.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Sweet.
Excellent. All right, I will email you soon. Thank you so much for playing. Again, this is Jeff from Communicore Weekly, and this has been Impromptu United Kingdom Pavilion Phone Booth Disney Trivia, and you won.
Sweet.
Congratulations. Go enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Sometimes you might see it, sometimes you don't. Hey, look, what's that? It's a 5-legged goat.
So next time you're at Trader Sam's, take a good look at all the stuff on the walls around you. So the one thing I noticed on my last trip there that I never saw before, that there was an interesting looking mask over on the far side, close to the door to the kitchen. Now the mask has a long shape to it, and the ears have really large holes with many, many earrings in them. And underneath it is a name plaque that simply reads Joe. Just by looking at it, you can clearly see that this is referencing Imagineer Joe Rohde, who is famous for his massive earrings. And he also helped design and develop the Animal Kingdom, so he's totally okay in my book.
So really, this is a 2.5-legged goat?
No, it's a full 5-legged goat, George.
A full 5-legged goat.
Full day 5-legged goat.
Okay, I guess I'll take that. It's at Trader Sam's. I guess most people will be drinking anyway.
Yes,
so they won't notice it. They won't notice it. So, well, thanks so much for watching and listening.
Yep, be sure to leave us a comment and rate us on iTunes.
Yep, and email us at communicoreweekly@gmail.com, including your favorite 5-legged goats and bathroom photos. We love them all.
Yes, we do. Send them in. And also be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Communicore Weekly.
And follow us on Twitter. I'm at Imaginerding and he's at Jeff Heimbuck. And for Jeff Heimbuck, I'm George Taylor.
And for George Taylor, I'm Jeff Heimbuck. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time on Communicore Weekly, the greatest online show.
Freaky Tiki.